PSG suffered defeat in their final game of the 2022-23 season, as the Ligue 1 champions lost 3-2 at home to Clermont in Lionel Messi's farewell performance. The combined exits of Messi and Sergio Ramos were the big pre-game talking points, with both players stepping out on the Parc des Princes pitch for the final time as PSG players. The script looked written for a winning end in the French capital, as Ramos and Ligue 1 Golden Boot winner Kylian Mbappé eased PSG into an early 2-0 lead. However, some poor defending allowed Yohan Gastien and Mehdi Zafan to drag Clermont level before the break, and they lost after that. About Ramos, his contract, which is due to expire this summer, will not be renewed, making him available on a free transfer. Remember, in 2020, PSG did the same thing with Thiago Silva, and it made a historic move for CFC. So what's inside that story? Like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest videos. Then we'll start. During his 8 years in the French capital, the Brazil international centre-back won 7 Ligue 1 titles among the huge haul of 25 trophies he has collected with Les Rouges et Bleus. Though he turns 36 in September that year, Thiago Silva was still in prime form in 2019-20, topping the division's passes completed chart with 95.5% of his attempts reaching their target. With 204 league games, including 200 starts for PSG, Thiago Silva went past former teammate Blaise Matuidi to move level with Dominique Roquette in 14th on the club's all-time appearance makers chart. With 154 wins in those 204 league games, PSG have won 73.5% of their matches with Thiago Silva in the side, compared to 66.3% without him. Along with coach Tuchel, who later also went to Chelsea, Thiago Silva led PSG to the Champions League final for the first time. Although PSG could not win the Champions League, PSG's decision not to sign a new contract with Silva at that time made many fans confused. At the beginning, there was no offer to renew my contract, he explained earlier 2021. Leonardo, sporting director, called me, told me I wasn't a part of the club's project and said I could leave. After the Champions League final, he called me back and asked me if I'd signed with another club. I said no, but I'd given my word to Chelsea. Thiago Silva joined Chelsea on a free transfer in the summer of 2020, shortly after PSG's loss to Bayern Munich in the Champions League final, and just before his 36th birthday. However, the signing proved a breakthrough. Thiago Silva played consistently, and with class for nearly 3,000 minutes, playing in 4 different leagues at the heart of Chelsea's defence in his first season. Rarely leaving the team when healthy, he brought in valuable experience to a mostly young squad and European expertise during that year's Champions League campaign. However, the first period was clearly difficult for the Brazilian player. He made his first Chelsea appearance in a 3-3 draw against West Brom and made a mistake as the team's captain. But Silva quickly regained the trust of the fans. Chelsea have conceded just 2 times in his next 9 appearances in the Premier League and Champions League, with Thiago regularly wearing the captain's armband. A tricky winter period ended when his old PSG boss Thomas Tuchel replaced Frank Lampard. After a pair of clean sheets in Tuchel's first 2 games, Thiago Silva picked up a thigh injury in the third, with us 1-0 up at Spurs. It ruled him out of action until April, when his return was marred by 2 yellow cards in quick succession against his unlikely bogey team West Brom. He was soon back in the team and back to his very best, notably in the crucial 1-0 victory at West Ham, and then both legs of Chelsea Champions League semi-final tie with Real Madrid. His ability in and out of possession, and his reading of the game, stood out when it mattered most. The final showdown with Manchester City in Porto, a city that means so much to Thiago Silva, began in heartbreaking fashion when he had to be replaced shortly before Kai Havertz's winner. The groin injury may have ended his time on the pitch early, but it did not stop him celebrating a famous victory when the final whistle blew. After so many failed attempts at winning this competition during his years in Italy and France, he had succeeded at the first time of asking in England. He declared it a career highlight, and not long afterwards his contract at Chelsea was extended by 1 year. A year after the dismissal of Silva, Leonardo decided to offer to sign Ramos after the Spaniard's long relationship with Real Madrid came to an end. And Silva believes that after failing to sign him to a new contract last summer, it was disrespectful to give Ramos a long-term contract, as they are the same age. I have nothing against Sergio Ramos, but Sergio, at the time at which they offered him a 2-year contract, was the same age as me last year, Silva told ESPN via GFFN, so that made me truly sad. I have not yet spoken about it with anyone, because it made me really sad because I felt like I had done nothing for the club. My departure is a page that has certainly been turned, but at the same time I think a lot, I reflect a lot on everything that has happened. I think that something else could have been done. Because it was not 8 days, or 8 months that I spent with PSG. It was 8 years with lots of victories, lots of work to be able to change, and put PSG at the level that it is at today. He continued, I want PSG to win, because the club deserves all the respect. But, in light of the way that things played out, I have this feeling of sadness and I feel that it could have been done differently. Not much went Sergio Ramos' way over his first season at Paris Saint-Germain. From his nagging calf injury to not playing in a single UEFA Champions League fixture for PSG, it was a season to forget. With Thiago Silva, on the contrary, he contributed a lot to Chelsea's success in the 2021-22 season. Chelsea won 2 championships, UEFA Super Cup and FIFA Club World Cup, under the direction of the Brazilian player. Surely no Chelsea fan can forget the situation when he saved the ball in front of goal in the match against Juventus at Stamford Bridge. Until this season, despite experiencing terrible difficulties, a bad season, but Silva, who turned 38, still played explosively. He is certainly a player who does not disappoint Chelsea fans, and the Chelsea Player of the Year award is the best proof. As for Ramos, although this season he played more, it is difficult to claim success when PSG failed in many arenas. A week ago, Silva confirmed that he wanted to stay at Chelsea until the age of 40, and Ramos announced his departure from PSG. That is definitely the ending that PSG does not want the most. In conclusion, Leonardo's decision to drop Silva was undoubtedly his worst, but signing Ramos a year later was not only bad, disrespectful to Silva, but also stupid of the PSG sporting director. However, as a Chelsea fan, I would like to thank Mr. Leonardo, because if he hadn't eliminated Silva, Chelsea would not have won the Champions League and many other glory in recent years. That's the final content in today's video. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to press the bell so you don't miss the next videos.